Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are celebrating 3 years for the PlayStation 5. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, a lot of people tell me that I'm an Xbot or whatever else, but the truth is, I've been a PlayStation fan since PS1, and I want to kind of talk about how the first 3 years of the PS5 generation have been, at least for me, anyways. This year. This year hasn't been like really a whole lot for the PlayStation 5, but if you do factor in, PlayStation VR 2, a lot of good games that came out with that, the Horizon Call of the Mountain, that was an absolute really cool game. Gran Turismo 7 in VR is absolutely phenomenal. It really is. It's very fun to play. I have my ups and downs when it comes to the force feedback, but whatever. I mean, when I'm in the mood to play for Gran Turismo 7 with VR, it is one heck of an amazing experience. Then if you factor in, like Forspoken was absolutely one of my favorite games this year that came out on the PlayStation 5, as well as Final Fantasy 16. Both of those games were absolutely incredible. I loved both of them. I think maybe I might have loved Forspoken just a tad bit more than Final Fantasy 16, but Final Fantasy 16 was actually pretty dang good as well. And I do plan on making some more content for that. I'm kind of hoping that when it comes to the PC, I'll be able to pick that up again and play through that one again. We also got the Burning Shores DLC for Horizon Forbidden West, and that was actually pretty dang good. The visual quality of Horizon Forbidden West and the Burning Shores is probably some of the best looking PS5 visuals that you've got from a first party game this whole generation so far, and that was absolutely a good experience. I really did like the Burning Shores. Even though at the end, like Aloy, and Aloy and gosh dang it, what was her name? I don't even remember her name now. That's so bad. I don't even remember her name. Sana or Suna, or I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess you can look at that controversial or whatever, however you want to, but I don't think that it affected the story in any meaningful way to where it was like, oh gosh, that was terrible or whatever. I mean, it's at the very, very end of it, so whatever. You don't have any of it doesn't happen anywhere throughout the whole playtime of that. It's right at the end of that DLC, so you'll have to make up your own mind about that. To me, it really didn't. It didn't really. I just kind of moved past it. I was like, all right, I didn't really see Aloy as that kind of person, or not that kind of person, but I didn't really see Aloy as somebody that would get in a romantic relationship. I just didn't see that in the cards for her. So that's the only real issue I have with it. But other than that, and then we just got SpiderMan freaking 2, and that was an absolute banger. I love that game. I thought it was incredible. I really enjoyed playing that game. I absolutely think it looks incredible, and it plays very well on the PlayStation 5. So if you haven't picked that one up, I definitely recommend that. I mean, actually, I do recommend pretty much everything that PlayStation put out this year. Third-party exclusives as well as first-party exclusives. And I know that there's a lot of controversy surrounding the PSVR 2. Like, I mean, obviously, the price is quite high for that, especially with the lineup of games that are out right now for it. I do kind of feel like that's kind of stunted the growth of the PSVR 2 if they came down in price for that thing, down to like $299. I think that thing would sell significantly better. I just picked up another game for it the other day, the Vampire Masquerade Justice, and that game seems to be pretty cool. I do like role-playing as a vampire. I do think that is pretty fun. My biggest thing is I wish that the new EA Sport WRC would have came out with a VR mode for the PlayStation 5. I think that would have been very, very cool. I would have bought another copy of that on the PS5 as well, so that I could play that in VR. I was really, when I bought the PSVR 2 at the first of this year, I was actually looking forward to that. And for that to not be there, it does kind of put like a little bit of a downer on the PSVR 2 for me anyways, because the thing that I like the most in them is racing games. And without a decent selection of racing games, I mean, we're not getting no Assetto Corsa Competizione on it. We're not getting F1 2023. We weren't getting, all of these games are games that I would have bought on the PS5 so that I could play them with the PSVR 2. And the fact that we're just not getting that on PSVR 2 is quite disappointing. Honestly, it is quite disappointing. So that's that. As far as 2023 goes for the PlayStation 5, I think that they did, a good enough job to still convince people that yes, PlayStation is a brand and an ecosystem worth investing money into. They just dropped the new Slimline for the PS5, although at an increased price for that model, for the digital model. And to be completely honest, man, like I don't see myself going out to buy one, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. I mean, I do kind of think that it should have just remained the same price, but prices for everything are going up. So you kind of figure that. You did get an increased, it did go up from 825 to 1 terabyte of storage for that. So that's pretty good. That's definitely a welcome, a welcome addition to the PlayStation 5. I don't think that I'm going to be one. We also just got the PlayStation Portal, which is the controller, with the screen in it that you can stream your games from your PS5. I mean, it looks cool, whatever. I mean, if I had more money right now, I would have probably bought one, but I just bought the ROG Ally just a couple months ago, so I think I'm set for handhelds for the most part. Don't really need that. I got a Switch and that, and I do play the ROG Ally a lot, and I can still use the ROG Ally to do the same thing that the PlayStation Portal would do. I can just stream my game straight to that. Just download the app for that. And, last but not least for 2023, we got the DualSense Edge, which is by far my favorite PlayStation controller ever made, and I absolutely do like this a lot more than the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. I've went through 3 of those controllers. They keep freaking breaking on me. So I do look forward to seeing how long the DualSense Edge lasts me. I will admit that I don't play my PlayStation as much, but I do actually utilize this controller on the PC whenever I've got the PlayStation games that come out for that. I definitely play those. And if you're a PlayStation fan and you're getting onto PC or whatever, it is looking like we're going to be getting Horizon Forbidden West at the first of the year for PC. We've just got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. We've gotten a lot more other titles. We'll probably get God of War Ragnarok, I'm hoping by the end of next year, hopefully sooner than that. I hope that I think it would benefit PlayStation a lot more if they would start launching these games day and date with the PC and the PlayStation 5. I do think that would be better. There's no reason why the PC people should have to wait a lot longer to purchase these PlayStation games. It just doesn't make any sense to me. The PC and the PlayStation, if they've got a PC, they're not going to buy a PlayStation 5 to play these games. Or maybe some people will. I mean, like me, I'm a multi-console / PC type gamer now, so... But I wasn't always that way. I was more of a console guy. I'm still more of a console guy. I do like the extra added power and bandwidth that the PC brings to the whole to gaming, and it really does intensify some of these newer games that are just not meeting those standards that we all put in place for the beginning of this generation. We all really did probably think 4K 60 was going to be the thing, but we've noticed that not happening. But if we go back and we look at the whole 3 years of the PlayStation 5 and just what it's brought to gaming and what it's brought out and just how it's moved things in such a tough ecosystem right now, it really has been hard, and it is very it's pretty impressive to see the PlayStation 5 selling over 45 million consoles. as well as, having games like SpiderMan already hitting 5 million sales, and some of the other games that are doing really well on there, including Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Like, it is good that gamers are still going to play and enjoy these games away from the whole console war nonsense. And that, my friends, is actually what gaming is all about. If you can't look past the nonsensical console wars and like really look at what each ecosystem brings to the table, you're just denying yourself fun. If you're a gamer, you're a gamer. You'll play any game that attracts your attention. There's no such thing as you can't look at games on like the Xbox or the PlayStation 5 and just outright say they're trash without even trying them, because sometimes I love just sitting here on the weekend and playing through a PlayStation first party game. I just love it, the stories, the way they tell the story, it really is just good. Like, it's immersive. I love that immersion that I get from the PlayStation first party games. But I love the hours and hours and hours of gameplay that I get out of Xbox first party games. So, you juxtapose both of those together and you got, yes, okay, I'm going to play my PlayStation game. I'm going to play that. I'm going to get through that in a weekend. And I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be satisfied. It's going to feel good. It's going to have beautiful graphics. It's going to hit the spot that I need it to hit right now. And then after that, when I get my Xbox games, when I'm playing my Halo, when I'm playing my Forza, when I'm playing, just any of the other games that are coming out for Xbox, those are good too. I enjoy playing those longer, like those games. I like to play my Xbox games spread out throughout the whole generation. I still go back to Xbox One games and I still play those. It's just the games are built in a way that brings you back into those ecosystems. So if we look back across the whole 3 years, like I was talking, PlayStation 5 pretty much hit the ground running. It came out very popular, a lot of hype surrounding it. Came out with like Demon Souls and some other games that were pretty good. Like, I like the Demon Souls. I mean, Godfall is all right. I mean, it did good enough to where it was like, yeah, okay, it's playable. It really does look kind of like a tech demo, but we need those shiny things at the first of every generation. We definitely need those. Then we got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That was a pretty dang good game. We got Returnal. I definitely like Returnal significantly more on the PC. It runs better. It looks better. It's completely what I thought Returnal would look like as a AAA game that really does look good and has that overall visual quality. Now, I'm about... I've played all the way through, like the third world of Returnal. I do like that game. I just haven't been able to find the time to get back there to actually finish that one off. But the overall PlayStation experience, like for 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, I think that 2022 was a really good year for the PlayStation 5. And earlier in the year we got Horizon Forbidden West. Then we got freaking God of War toward the end of the year. Both of those games were actually pretty good. God of War, not necessarily like a terrible game. I've never said it was terrible. I just said that it didn't hit that spot. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't give me that God of War feeling that I thought I was going to get out of that, like the big epic ending or any of that stuff. It was good. Like, it was good. It was definitely fun to play through that game. I did have a good time with it, but some of the other stuff, that PlayStation's gotten out there, like what was that one? Destruction All Stars. That wasn't terrible, but it wasn't really like an addictive type of game. I put a little bit of time into that. I've played through, The Last of Us Part 1 again. I bought that on PC again as well. That was absolutely incredible. We got that, what was that, last year? Did we get that last year too, or did we get that this year, early this year? I think we got that one early this year. So we got, The Last of Us Part 1. No, wait, we got that last year. We got it on PC early this year. So, yeah, we got some remakes. man, 2022 is just such a kind of like a haze for me with the PlayStation 5. You know, we've had some cool games like Kane of Bridge of Spirits that came out. I really did like that game. I definitely recommend that. Sifu, I mean, that was pretty cool for the most part. There's a lot of them, man. I've bought every single one of them. You know, I mean, oh yeah, we had a little what was it, Little Big Planet or whatever. But all I can say is yes, PlayStation 5 has been pretty cool. It is a little bit more concerning what's coming next, though. There was a lot of talk about, you know, a lot of games as service games going forward. And if you're wondering why I'm like dragging this out a little bit longer than the Xbox One, is I don't really talk about the PlayStation that much anymore. I don't really do any videos for it, and I don't want the community to think that I just all of a sudden just don't care about PlayStation. I do. I definitely care about the well-being of PlayStation and what their moves are going forward and what they're going to bring to the gaming space. I am. I'm obviously invested in it, and I want to see. I want to see that old PlayStation, you know, like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. I want those days to come back where we were getting, you know, cool games, where we were getting cool games on the PlayStation 3, you know, all the way up through the PlayStation 4. Like, I just have this nostalgic feeling for PlayStation that just seems to be missing with the PlayStation 5 is all. It just kind of feels... it just kind of feels like it's missing right now, and I guess you can pretty much ask anybody. I mean, like your average casual video gamer doesn't really care. I mean, they got their Call of Duty, their Fortnite, whatever. They don't really care. But us older PlayStation fans that grew up playing, you know, all the other stuff, you know, like SOCOM, from SOCOM to Splinter, or not Splinter Cell, but gosh dang it, Siphon Filter, and you know, just Jack and Daxter. All of the stuff that we grew up with, you know, from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, 4. And it just kind of feels like PlayStation 5 kind of like turned this corner. And they came out and they were trying to position themselves as like this premium PlayStation console brand. And I'm like, no, if you want a premium experience, go buy a PC. Like, you're a video game console. You're supposed to come out and sell us a video game console, and then sell us the cool games that we like to play, not these, you know. I think they went a little bit too extreme with the whole, you know, trying to make these premium games that were still rooted in the PlayStation 4 technology, and then have them also trying to be like, yeah, we're going like games as a service. We got 12 games lined up, and we're gonna crank these things out. And when I heard that, I took a step back and I was like, no. Like, PlayStation fans are not gonna be okay with this. And then the whole raising the price to $70, that really did affect sales. It really did. Like, people are just like, ooh man, I'm not paying $70. And it's like I get it. I understand that. You know, they did come out, they did change up PlayStation Plus. They did add, you know, the 3 different tiers for that, the premium, the extra, and the essential. And they also did, you know, like PlayStation Stars and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. I look at that every once in a while and I'm like, gosh dang it, I just need one freaking more. I really do just need one more, whatchamacallit, achievement to get like my PlayStation 4, my PlayStation Stars level 4 badge. And that's funny, man. Like, it does kind of give you that, like, oh man, I want to play that. I want to get that. You know what I mean? And those are kind of cool. But if you look at, you know, like the 3 different tiers, and then they just raise the price to those again, it just kind of feels like they're trying to get as much money as they can, and they really are appealing to those gamers that have deeper pockets, because the rest of the gamers they can't afford that. They're happy with an Xbox Series S for $300, and they're happy with a Game Pass subscription because that's what they can afford. And like, you know, if PlayStation was smart, if they were smart and they wanted to, you know, add some good value to that, put their first party games on there after, after 3 months, after 6 months or whatever. Once the sales die down, drop them right on the service. Just boom, without even saying anything. Just be like, all right, guys, it's dropping, and surprise people like that. That would get people excited to sign up for the service. And start building lower budget games directly for their service. If they were doing those kind of things and adding more of a value for the price that they're asking for you to pay for these, I think that PlayStation could easily win back the hearts and minds of their gamers. Because right now, man, like I hear all the time, in real life, everywhere, that people are just starting to get a little bit irritated with the whole PlayStation pricing things and how they're going out of their way to like raise the prices but not really offer anything substantial in return. But if you look at, like Xbox raising the price of Series S to like $700 in Brazil, man. Wow, where do they come up with these ideas, man? It's like, oh my gosh, are they just testing the waters over there or something? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's been a pretty decent, 3 years console generation for the PlayStation 5. I think they're doing pretty good. I think they're making I think they're making progress forward, but I do kind of feel like it's going to take a little step backwards for a minute, because I think they are going to obviously they've already put on or delayed 6 of those games, or delayed half of those games as service games, just due to the fact that it just wasn't realistic for that to come out in that given time. So I do think there's a lot of reevaluation going on there now that Jim Ryan is stepping down, and somebody else is going to take over from next year, like April or something, I believe. I do think that things are going to change, but I do think we're going to have a slow period for the PS5. I do still think that the most of those holes are going to be filled in by third party, exclusive deals, but there are going to be more PlayStation first party games. I just don't think they're going to be a lot of them, but I think you'll probably get one next year, and I think you'll probably get maybe 1 or 2 the year after that. I do think that they're going to, I do think that they're going to have something. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think Wolverine probably come out next year or the year after, something like that. So, Insomniac just dropped SpiderMan 2. So I don't think that PlayStation is in a whole lot of trouble, but whatever goodwill they've built up, by the time you're gonna have PlayStation fans questioning big time before the roadmap gets unveiled or whatever's gonna happen. You are gonna have some PlayStation fans that are gonna start questioning well, what's going on over there at PlayStation. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.